Now, we want to turn our attention to the Irish women's national team. I'm delighted to say Louise Quinn is with us. Louise, good morning to you. How are you getting on?
Morning, how's things?
Good, thanks. What's your recovery been like from the game against Germany?
Yeah, getting there, just about recovered. Was a real tough slog from us, I think, kind of both mentally and physically, really. But yeah, listen, I think that was a game that we learned the most that we could have learned, to be honest, about ourselves, about the standard that you would hope to get to, or that we should expect if we want to qualify for the Euros. We're going to be playing similar teams like that again. So you've really got to be able to step up to the mark in those situations.
How do you prepare mentally in the build-up to the game? Because, like, there's a shout that Germany are the best team in the world right now, that their form over the last year suggests they, irrespective of results in the last World Cup, that actually they're the very best team. So you're trying to go out there and make sure that you can perform as a group to get a result. You're trying to get your own game into a place where you're like, okay, some of these forwards are actually, again, the best forwards, and these midfielders are some of the trickiest midfielders I'm ever going to come up against. So how do you prepare for a game that you're expected to lose, while at the same time trying to prepare for the best possible outcome?
Yeah, I think you've kind of just got to look to yourself, I guess, and try just get your best performance out, something that you're pleased with, that you try win your 1v1 battles, that you compete, and almost that you try be the best footballer you can on that day, and then hope as well that it all comes together as a team, to try make that happen. You never go into any football game thinking that that you're going to lose. What's kind of the point in that? But we knew the task ahead of us was incredibly hard. We had kind of set goals, obviously, at the start of the campaign about games that are probably the most vital, and then obviously for us, if you wanting to go get a result, and then obviously if you get a result out of Germany, that is a massive boost. So you kind of go into the game with kind of that thought of we don't have a whole lot to lose here, but we have so much to gain if we can get a result, or if we can play well and do something. So I think that was kind of our thoughts, and we just wanted to do our best under the circumstances. We haven't seen each other in months. I think even everyone's leagues are obviously starting at different times. The amount of games you have under your belt, it was really difficult, and you could see then that the German league was one of those that actually was still able to continue kind of during some of the height of COVID. So you knew that a lot of their players were going to be fit and sharp. But that's us. That's the card, or the hand we've been given. So we just wanted to go in and give it our all, really.
There was a very defined plan on Saturday, Louise, and I guess in the build-up to this game, the qualifying run had been based on games that you were expected to go out and win. So not only are you facing into a game where you've got to come up with a completely different approach, as you mentioned there, it's right on the back of a pandemic. How difficult was it to come up with that new plan, or was it something that you had actually worked on in the past?
Well, yeah, I think it was obviously something that like Vera and Eileen had already been looking into. But then, I think I'm sure they watched every German game that they could possibly find ever during lockdown. But I think from what we had seen, they figured out exactly how they can play, and then it's up to us as the players to figure out if we can kind of stop that. So they did, try to set us up in that way that would find difficult. And I think in the second half, we proved that we were able to handle it a little bit more. They maybe took their foot off the gas a little bit, being 3-0 up at half time. But I think for us, it was a real positive that, we went in at half time. And it's something where you've got to say, we need to fix this. This is about us improving and figuring out the problems. Why are they causing us so much problem when we actually kind of know what they're going to do? And so that's what, for the second half, I think for us structurally, I think you could see that we were definitely more together and could understand their movements a bit more. So for me, that was a huge positive to be able to improved so much in 45 minutes. Yeah, standard that they may have taken the foot off the gas a little bit, but they were still, I think they still got just as many attacks as they did in the first half. So, you know, for me, that's just a massive positive we had to take from that.
What actually gets said in the change rooms at half time?
Geez, I need to think back. I think it was all quite, you know, calm. I think we had, you know, obviously to go 3-0 down at half time, and especially some of those goals being so close to then to half time as well. Yeah, it was just that. It was calm down. Let's look at our game plan. Let's see where they're causing us problems. We could see that they were just kind of shifting us everywhere. Their movement was incredible. You know, that top six could kind of move whatever way they wanted, and then the fullbacks came and joined in as well. So it was incredible, you know, overload of players, I think, especially down our right side. So it was about just figuring out where maybe players can pass players onto defenders, when we have to stay, when we have to go. And it was actually just good information. We looked at a couple of video clips as well, just so we could visually kind of see what's going on, because it was, you know, it was tough to see their movement. So it was just actually just good information to tidy us up and to, you know, to keep pushing and to, you know, I think we did create a couple of good kind of counter-attack moments, but then it's just about being smart with them then as well.
And then afterwards, because the floodgates didn't open, because that second half is strong, is there at least some kind of positivity? I know it's a 3-0 defeat and it's hard to kind of immediately think of it, but certainly the conversations afterwards were like, look, actually, you know what? It is a learning curve and we do have ambitions to match this team at some point, but we're not quite there yet for a bunch of different reasons. Was there enough positivity coming out of it that everybody can feel like, yeah, there's some signs of progress there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think under the circumstances as well, we were able to get, you know, everyone through a game. You know, 90 minutes, as I said, we haven't been able to maybe get as much games, and that's, you know, that's across the board, that's across Europe. But, you know, to then get a very good intense 90 minutes, you know, out of Germany was you know, a good success for us as well. And yeah, for us, it's exactly, I think we'll definitely look to that second half. But for me, it's that first half was just as important, as, you know, as devastating as it was. And yeah, we of course we're going to take positives. That's, you know, that's for us the next game is the massive one. So, and I think we have so much to take from that last game that would be it'd be a shame not to take, you know, some of the positives from us, as, you know, maybe the scoreline didn't show us, or maybe some of, you know, what we did, but in a team and after the game, as, you know, at least if we could come in being satisfied, know that we literally emptied the tank. You know, I think you can see at the end of the game that a lot of us were, you know, huffing and puffing and hands on knees, and that was because literally we gave it everything. And for me, that's a positive against probably, you know, the team that's more than likely going to win the Euros, that have built something, have improved incredibly since the World Cup. So for us, it was I think we were just trying to see what we could get out of each other, and that's going to be so important going into Ukraine next month.
There's a lot of other things that we wanted to chat to you about actually before, because obviously we can talk to you again in advance of the Ukraine game. It's been a really interesting summer for women's football. So you've got the big money signing, Alex Morgan joining Spurs, and some other like transfers happening that suggests the Women's Super League is actually going to evolve into something really meaningful in terms of the level of coverage that it gets, but also the quality of footballer that it can attract. And at the same time, we've had the debate. I saw you retweeting Mika Richards talking about how good a pundit Alex Scott is. I don't want to say that like there's been an arrival over the summer, but certainly in English football consciousness, and that's the football culture that we consume the most of, there's been a bit of an awakening.
Yeah, I just think it's you know, it was only time. You could really see that already, that there's some of the best European players there. And then, you know, also for me, I guess it was just one of those opportunities. Generally from America to Australia, they tend to go over to their leagues quite a bit when one season is in the off season. So when the American season is on, quite a few Australians go there, and then vice versa. So because borders are closed, obviously that kind of opportunity wasn't there. So they started to look elsewhere. And for me, that they looked exactly to where, there is a massive league growing, the potential, the talent, the attention, the name to play for Arsenal, to play for United, to play for Tottenham, is huge. So you can just see that this is now, an opportunity then, and for them to kind of, challenge themselves in Europe. So because for me, that's where the biggest challenge lies now in women's football as well. So I think it's going to be fantastic. That's the thing. Part of it is a shame that some of them are only going on loan, only going to be here until December. So they're really only going to get a handful of games, but hopefully it kind of gives that taster, and the same then for clubs to be able to build up that kind of that reputation that a player like Alex Morgan can go to Spurs, and players like that can go to City, and it's hopefully only just going to to grow it and keep improving and making it better.
In like everything in football, it's both a threat and an opportunity for Ireland in terms of getting players into that league. It would have been our first port of call in many cases. Now that's going to be more difficult, but equally the players who do make it are going to be playing and training with better quality players. So is it something we just need to be ready to take advantage of and not be scared of? Or is it actually something that we need to start thinking that's not going to be an outlet for us as much into the future? And going off to Italy is a great example of other opportunities that we should be trying to get our players into leagues like that.
Well, no, of course, I don't think they should be scared. It's one player, maybe two players that have gone to a team, and at the same time, yes, their names are so big, but they're not the team. That's not what they're going to to base that around, or for me, it's obviously all about that squad. So any players that are good enough, they and if they have the opportunity, is take it with both hands. And if you get to play with Alex Morgan, fantastic. That's an added bonus. But at the same time, she's still a Spurs player. She's still got to work her way into that team as well, to see if she suits kind of the English team style of football, because it's very, very different. And I think it is going to be a big shock kind of to some of them coming in, and in a great way. So I feel like it's whatever opportunities are there. If there's opportunities to go to Italy, Germany, France, I just think it's girls, women just need to put themselves out there, put themselves in the best situation that they can to be the best professional player they can and get the best out of them. But if they can, we're Irish, we can play wherever we want, as long as we put in the hard work. We'll do our best to make it good.
It probably hammers home the importance of having a strong domestic league as well, Louise.
Yeah, of course, and that's always seems to be a bit of that constant battle. That you want, the league to keep improving, and I know that is kind of tough to say when maybe some of the the top players in that league do go abroad, but there's still so much work that can be done in that league to make it even semi-professional, or just more easier for the girls that want to play. And there's still so many Irish girls that are in the Irish team and that completely deserve to be in the Irish team. But if they just had that step up from the next level that the Irish league can take, that's what we have to do. I'm not even sure that there's a sponsor at the moment. That's, for me, that's it's not good enough at the moment. Is how we are growing women's football, and how the national team, you can see the massive improvements, but we need it as an overall. We need it from the grassroots coming up. We need it for the players that are already currently playing in the league. So for me, that's something that again really needs to be looked at, and not just bypassed again.
I presume you're not going to go as far in the Alex Morgan transfer as saying that the balance of power in North London is going to be shifted in any shape or form. Arsenal have started the season very, very well.
No, they've been excellent, and I've watched all their games. I've been chatting to the girls still. and it's not surprising me what they can do. So I think just for them, and I think Arsenal are very good at playing every team. I think it is just that little bit of struggle with the top team. So I feel like if they can just kind of change that shift, or that kind of mentality, I think it's completely in their hands. But they've been just kind of just destroying teams at the moment, and and you can see now that Jill Roord is the one kind of making the headlines now, and she's just again another fantastic Dutch players that's coming through, and so it's going to be an exciting season. But I'm definitely a fangirl now, definitely.
Just a quick one then of not fangirling, but actually being a centre back of a team now. It is Fiorentina. Great win before the international break. You beat local rivals Fiorentina 3-2. You're top of the league.
Yeah, top of the league at the moment. That was one of those derby games, really really tough game that we went in 2. It was 2-0, and then just that's one of those dodgy score lines, and we gave away a penalty, and it really started to shift. But we gritted through it, and for me, I'm just obviously we really do have like a great team. For me, the midfield is just filled with some of the best footballing players that I've kind of been around, and it was, for me, it's just super positive because we played one game before starting the season. 2 got cancelled because of one with COVID related, and then another because there was a fire beside the pitch we were supposed to be playing at. So for me, going into a league with only one game under our belt, I was apprehensive, just in general to have played one game before starting a league, and but I just think how we've been able to manage the game, and just go in, and now 3 wins out of 3, and scoring a lot of goals. So for me, it's we have a big couple of weeks now ahead. To be honest, we have two of the top teams coming up. One being Sassuolo, and then the next then being Juventus. So that's going to be massive games for us.
And how's your Italian?
I'm going for my first lesson today.
Right.
So no, I've been trying to pick it up as much as I can. I'm not giving you as an example yet.
As long as you got the swear words, that's all you need for football, right?
So I've taken in as much as I can and trying to learn, kind of everything myself, and just standing in beside the conversations and just like listening.
And have you got the gestures? Are you like?
Yeah, it's everything. Pasta, football, it's just always all of that. Very passionate. So first lesson today. So I'll be fluent now in a few weeks.
Well, listen, we'll get you on in a couple of weeks to preview the Ukraine game, and you can do it all in Italian if you want at that point.
Yeah. That just might not be good for you guys, though.
Thanks a million, Louise. Cheers.
Ciao, I should have said.